Hello everyone. Today we're going to be solving polynomial functions. We'll be doing this by factoring and by graphing. When we do graphing, I'll be using Desmos.com, or if you have a smartphone, there is an app that you can download, a free app for Desmos that you can use when you need it. Okay. Looking at this first problem, I see that I have a common factor of r, so I'm going to take out r. Remember, you want to make sure that your equation equals 0 when you're solving, and then we're going to factor, and then hopefully they'll all factor. I haven't done them, so we'll see. We may have to use the quadratic formula or complete the square. Then after we factor, we will use the zero product property. If we use the quadratic formula, we'll have our answers when we're there. Okay, when I look at number 1, that binomial is a difference of squares. The square root of 36r squared. Sorry, that's so messy. Square root of 36r squared is 6r. The square root of 1 is 1. I'm completely factored. I want to point out really quickly that my degree is 3, which tells me that I'm going to have 3 solutions. When I go to do the zero product property, I'm going to set each of my factors equal to 0. There's one of my solutions. R equals negative 1/6 is another one. And my disclaimer that I want to put out there, I do make mistakes in these videos. A lot of times I'm doing them late at night. So please forgive me. Please let me know politely if I've made a mistake. My 3 solutions are 0, negative 1/6, and positive 1/6. Now let's look at the next one. I'm going to move that 60x to the other side. Let's see. They'll go in descending order. 20x cubed plus 80x squared plus 60x equals 0. Greatest common factor looks to be 20x. Leaves me with x squared plus 4x plus 3. I believe that trinomial will factor. Factors of 3, that'll give me a sum of 4. 1 times 3, so I'll have 20x, and a is 1, so I can just do this quickly. X plus 1, x plus 3. Let me point out again right here in the middle of, while I'm talking, my degree is 3, so that does mean that I'll have 3 solutions. I'll do the zero product property now. Whoops. Sorry about that. 20x will equal 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0. X equals 0. Negative 1. And negative 3. You are welcome to write your answer that way. That's perfectly fine. On to number 3. I'm going to subtract 3m squared. I chose to do that because my larger degreed variable is on the right hand side. I'm actually going to use the symmetric property of equality and go ahead and write it this way. 75m to the 4th minus 3m squared equals 0. Greatest common factor, 3m squared. When I factor out 3m squared, I'm left with 25m squared minus 1. That's a difference of squares, so 3m squared, 2 empty binomials. That's an equal 0 there. One with an addition sign, one with a subtraction sign. Square root of 25 squared is 5m. The square root of 1 squared is 1. So sorry, that's so small. Then I'm going to do the zero product property. 3m squared equals 0. 5m plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to write it down here, then I'll just have to erase it. And then 5m minus 1 equals 0. I'm going to end up with, when I divide by 3, that gives me m squared equals 0. Take the square root. I'm going to end up with m equals 0. Subtract 1. 5m equals negative 1. Divide by 5. I'll put a comma. M is negative 1/5. And then this bottom one, add 1. 5m will equal 1. M will be 1/5. So my answers to number 3 are 0, negative 1/5, and 1/5. And I'll erase that when I get there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 4. I'm going to add y to the 4th to the other side. I believe this one will factor. A times C is 36, sum of B negative 13, negative 4, and negative 9. Yes. Y squared, remember middle variable, minus 4. Y squared minus 9. Then I'm going to do a difference of squares twice. Y plus 2, y minus 2, y plus 3, y minus 3. Zero product property. So y is going to equal, subtract 2, that's negative 2, add 2, that's positive 2, that's a comma, almost looks like a decimal. Subtract 3, that's negative 3, and add 3, that's positive 3. So my 4 solutions, I want to point out really quick, my 4 solutions, because I have a degree of 4, are negative 2, positive 2, negative 3, and 3. Okay, now, for the next one, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. 2x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 1. Then I'm going to group the first two together because I have 4 terms. I need to factor by grouping. Put an addition sign in the middle. First group has x squared in common. Left with 2x minus 1. Finally, here's an example where this first term in this group is negative, so I've got to take out a negative greatest common factor. Well, their common factor is 1, so I'm going to take out a negative 1. So I'm going to do that. And that would be positive 2x minus 1. Did it work? Yes, because these two are the same, so I'm going to write it as 2x minus 1 times x squared minus 1. Going to do this difference of squares, x plus 1, x minus 1. Do the zero product property. I do expect to see this. Add 1, then divide by 2. So x is going to be 1/2. Subtract 1, negative 1, add 1, and positive 1. and my degree was 3. If you look back there, you can see that I would have 3 solutions. Now I'm going to stop recording, erase, and then do number 6. Okay, I erased what I had from number 3, and then I moved the terms on the left to the right with what I had here, and I came up with this polynomial that says equal 0. I'm going to factor by grouping. The first group goes together, and then put a plus sign, and the second group goes together. That is so close together, I'm so sorry. The first group has 4c squared in common. When you factor out 4c squared, you have 2c plus 5. The second group has a negative 25 in common. When you factor out negative 25, you're left with 2. Whoops. My parentheses was in the wrong direction. You're left with 2c plus 5, yes. And that's, of course, should equal 0. Then it did work. My factoring by grouping worked. Then I'm going to pause again and erase so I can have some room to finish this problem. I have a difference of squares. So I'm going to bring down 2c plus 5. 4c squared minus 25 will factor into 2 binomials, one with a plus sign, one with a minus. 2c, another 2c minus, another 2c plus 5, and 2c minus 5. Do the zero product property. I'm just going to solve this one because the one beside it is the same. So for both these first two problems, we get c is equal to negative 5 halves. And then the second problem, I get c is equal to positive 5 halves. And again, the degree here is 3, but this solution here is a double root. So it happens twice, and then this one happens once. Okay, for the next slide, I'm going to go to Desmos.com. I'm going to graph each of these. I want you to remember, I want you to do the same thing. You're looking for where the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. So I'm going to pause this. I'm so sorry that's so sloppy. Crosses or touches the x-axis. I'm going to pause this, go find the solutions using Desmos.com, or again, like I said in the beginning, there's an app, a free app that you can download, Desmos.com, and then I'll be back with the solutions. Okay, you may want to pause and write down the solutions, but I want to tell you really quickly why I highlighted these solutions. This solution, and these two. Those were all double roots. I want you to notice. Degree of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions. Degree of 3, 1, 2, 3. Degree of 3, 1, 2, 3 solutions. Degree of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So where it touches the axis, all the ones that are highlighted are the places where these graphs touch the axis. Where it touches the axis, that's considered to be a double root. It counts 2 times. If it crosses through, it only counts once. So that's your notes for today.